Okay, I want to give you a little update. Two things basically. What's happened with the SlowStick Ultralite, and follow up on the Boscam. This will be the third follow-up. There'll be one more. So far, I think it's a good deal. We'll see. Okay, let's look at the Boscam first. It has some little idiosyncrasies. So this is how it turns with the Hobby King $4 pan and tilt. I only have one pot on the radio, so I have to use a three-way switch for the up and down. The only thing that concerns me is the ribbon wire that connects the camera to the body of the machine, I guess, which is right here on the bottom, the big silver thing. Has lots of adjustments. You can go 720 or 1080. Take still pictures. You can imprint the time over it if you want to. And okay, you can right now, I want you to see the little blue button, or light I mean. See the little blue light right there? That means it's recording. Well, I had a heck of a time trying to figure this out, simply because there is little or no instructions. Okay, right here is the button for the video. Here's the button for the still pictures. But if you actually use that button, push it, it's so sensitive. If you don't push it the right amount of milliseconds, it won't record. It shows recording, it shows it on there, but my computer says it can't render the file. You also want to make sure you turn it off before you unplug it, because even if you record something, apparently it doesn't buffer if you turn it off if you unplug it without turning it off. It's the only thing I can tell. Okay, this is my Fat Shark 5.8 transmitter, video transmitter. Now, it's gone from a kind of a simple plane to a very complex FPV flying machine. There's all kinds of bells and whistles in this. It has 6 servos, ailerons, rudder, elevator, and 2 for the pan and tilt. Then I thought, you know, I'll probably better add an external BEC, so I added that. The camera has a wire. This little wire goes up to the receiver, where you can turn the camera on and off. That's what I wanted to get to. Okay. The instructions, if there were any, would say, don't mess with the buttons, because they don't work very easy. Wire it up. There's a wire with a servo end on it. You plug it into an open place on your receiver. I could use another 3-way switch if I wanted to. I think I could get stills and video both that way. But right now I have it hooked up to my gear switch. Now I'm going to see if you can see it. Now you'd be able to see it in the ground station video. But let's look in here. Maybe you can see in the upper left hand corner, there's a blinking red light. Kind of gets bigger and littler, bigger and littler. That means it's recording. Okay, I can turn that on and off with this gear switch. It's pretty cool. So far, if you turn it on and off with this, now let's turn it off. Okay, now you can see the red light come on. See it right here? Now let's turn it back. Let's turn the recording off. Let's turn it back on. Now the blue light. And that's going to give me a second video right here while we're watching. Okay, so I got an external BEC. Then I learned something with this extra thing running off. I was using a 400 milliamp. I was using a 400 milliamp battery up here to run the camera and the transmitter, but I just killed it a while ago. This takes much more juice. That 400 is not enough. Now all I have next is 1,000. I got some 850s, but they're real big and square, and I think it would really take a lot of I don't know, wind resistance. I don't know, with all this stuff hanging out, maybe not. But I'm gonna have to try the 1,000 on there. It adds weight to it. By the way, with the 2200 3-cell, the 1,000 3-cell, and all this extra stuff on the back, it weighs 1,112 grams, or 2.73 pounds. Pretty heavy for a slow stick. Doesn't seem to bother. It takes right off. It doesn't roll out more than a foot. It takes right off. And it lands pretty easy too. Of course, you got this monstrous wing, but still, that's a lot of weight for a slow stick. Also, Keith, Bonafide Pirate, showed me how to put a battery indicator on, and that it has this little dash thing that came with the ultralight conversion. It actually has a little seat that would go in here, and you could put a little action figure or some sort in it, but I don't have any weight left. I'm maxed out on weight. But you need to know what the condition of your battery is. So this is a simple little thing. It's got two lights, a blue and a red light right here. Blue will start blinking when it gets down. When it gets down below 11 volts, or right down to 11 volts, the red one will start blinking. You better be heading to the ground, because if that red one comes on solid, that means it's below 10 volts. So I can see this in my flight camera. See it all the time. It is a great reassurance, and I'm running that off the balance lead on the 2200 battery. All in all, I think this is a pretty cool setup plane.